Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. We're on short notice here. Actually, we're in between sessions, so I decided to just put a panel on my of some of my great leaders on my team here at IZ Corp Exchange, so I can just share, so we can just go over some basic information on what we're looking at since markets are so high. Just to begin with, my name is Mr. Ebo Richards, and I am the CEO of IZ Corp Exchange. And again, thank you all for coming. And we're doing a Hejspan segment. I was asked to do a Hejspan segment on beta investing. Before we start, again, this is IZ Corp Exchange Television. I'm a member of IZ Corp Exchange in good standings. And does everyone have their pass for today? If you don't, I'll just please ask you to get up and leave. Paul, can you escort this man? You need to get up and leave now. You need to get up and leave now. Thanks, Paul. Just don't slam the door. So we're ready to begin. So what we're looking at, we have members here from the staff of Rubber Band Company, which is a newer company on the firm that's starting to just get a little action and trying to get some skin in the game. And all they do is short the market. So we're studying beta investing, because that's what they specialize in. And what I've come up with is many agree to argue, as we see the markets going up, and especially members of the well-off fund, which is not a sister company, but they're always in competition, especially team-wise. You see, the language is, we're so high, we've come so fast that the market's going to just short itself. I mean, just pretty much just drop out the sky, and it has to stop somewhere. Historically, we've been on a nice bull run, 6-7 years. I think we're on a 25-year bull run. But then again, it is what it is. The pullbacks have been nice. And Rubber Band Fund, before I started even associating them with some of our monies, has shown me that the shorting is really good. And what it's the analysis. It's mostly the analysis and the valuation, and the lack of indicators, which they showed, and the market deviation, which got my attention. It's a quantifiable measure, so it's something that you really can't be ignored. As the regulation comes in, you see companies changing, especially with the technology. One example we had here was, we'll get to that in a minute. A plus I see, and I'll be taking comments, and if you don't have anything now, you can send it to my email, and we can discuss it a little more one-on-one or privately, because I want to put a lot of money into this. It's pretty much a capital asset model, and losing money is the risk. And what happens is, when the company's losing money, the risk of appetite for selling or getting into the company increases. What happens is, it's defensive. That's a plus. A minus is a defensive, and I'll argue that it's not so much a hedge, but after the fact, it's like the information that I see comes in like a downside. What I don't like about it is, even though we have the analysis and the valuation, it's after the fact. The news pretty much dictates the flow of increasing the risk of the company losing money. Because when you say a company is losing money, you can stop the bleeding. Sometimes investors like to buy into that, but with the media, the way the media is today, when you say a company is losing money, automatically you just don't have investors pulling out like in the old days. You have people coming who just trade, and they just like the action. They're more, they're just more on the, not so much the investment tip or the growth model tip, or not even, it's not even a new, it's like a new form of investing. It's not even speculative. It's just, oh, that company's making money, let's short that company. So they're just outright shorting the companies, and that can increase the the appetite, or I can increase the volatility of the money, of the market, that market going down. So like I said, the beta changes, the model changes, and these are things that I'm not really so gung-ho to like get into it. But from what I've seen, like with the ULTA, that was a good example. For those who don't know, I got my information from them, which they got it through the Moxie research that we use, but their manager really came up with some interesting points, and we started shorting Ulta as it was going down for whatever reason, the technology, whatever. And as I was seeing the higher lows, but then the market bottomed out. I called it at, what was that, 220? I called it at about 220 that it was going to, you could probably take some profits. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know where we're at now, but I think we got as low as 210, 213. And, then it bottomed out. And despite the indicators saying, one of my favorite indicators from the trading family is, it shows you, that everyone was in agreement at the table that the market was still going to push down. But that was about 6 weeks ago, and the market's pretty much, I don't want to say it's bottomed out, but a lot of investors saw their mark, and they decided, we'll buy here. And the pressure's still on to sell, but as you look at the deviation, and not so much the evaluation, more like analysis, and even the cost of equity, but I don't see a discount. I would see the market going lower, let's say to $75, and then I would advertise, oh, here's a discount. But there's not really much of a discount here, from what I'm seeing. And the stock could see the mark, and the buyer see the mark. The stocks could reverse, or it could just start shaking loose the sellers and causing a very hard short squeeze. But if you're in it at 300 or 280, and you're all the way down to 260, in and out, or even straight down, even if you still own the stock, you can see your profit margin increase as you roll that money back into your given funds, or however you want to reinvest the money. And that's another thing that's a plus here at IZ Corp Exchange. It doesn't really matter what your strategy is. We encourage you to take a big portion of your money and reinvest it in something before we go buying the yachts and take the fishing trips and go to Cancun and then just go visit everybody's seminar and just, we'll write it off. We want to just put it right back in the market, because again, historically in this market today, the price action is unbelievable. And if anything, if we do see we've seen greater pullbacks, stronger pullbacks, harder pullbacks, but if we do see a rollover in the market, it would be wise to have that money readily available to switch in and out, to pretty much capitalize of this, like this flotation or this big gap we have, where you say, well, the market's 26, the weighted index 2600. I got a lot of you. When did I get a lot of you guys in? At 1800. So if you say, well, geez, I know I mean, it would be like a stretch to go back to 1800, but if you can say 19 or 20 or 21, wouldn't it be nice to get a nice, can I say capitulation of the market going down, with, again, as you see the higher lows? We really have to get going now. I have another forum over here, and you guys are going to do the presentation as we discussed. And I want to thank IZ Corp Exchange Television for letting us to have this segment. For Hejspan, you're all family. The Hejspan family is the hedge fund side of IZ Corp Exchange, and we were just sitting here with the managers from the staff from Rubber Band Company, who was showing us, who allowed me to show off their beta strategy. Again, my name is Mr. Ebo Richards, CEO of IZ Corp Exchange. And I want to apologize from before. I didn't have security on the door to make sure that everybody got a pass. Usually I let it slide, but I'm starting to get out of that. That's a bad habit. If you don't have the full credential of the email that was in the email, if you don't have your ID, or if you don't have your assignment, or whatever it is that you're supposed to do. You know, you won't be sitting at these round table meetings, and if you will, and you won't get the you know, the not the credential, but you won't get the like you were present at the meeting. You just won't get it. And this does look good on your credentials, and it does help a lot of managers if you ever want to go on your own and do your own thing. Again, my name is Mr. Ebo Richards, CEO of CORP Exchange, and we were sitting down with Rubber Band Company, and we were looking at beta, and we're live on Hejspan television, which is a member of Hejspan, a division of CORP Exchange, which is a member of CORP Exchange in good standings. And again, thank you for the sponsors from CORP Television. And thank you all, and have a great day.